Hi, this is Karen on the Camino, and today I'm going to talk about the why. Why does anybody want to do a pilgrimage? Well, the first thing for me is because I can. It's pretty simple, straightforward. Um, I'm going to be retiring either in June or July this year, so that means I'm going to have all the time in the world to do my pilgrimage. Another reason is that I'm healthy right now. Yes, I had rotator cuff surgery about less than 8 weeks ago, and I'm still rehabbing that. I still have quite a bit of pain, but generally I'm pretty healthy. So if I don't do it now, when? When do I do it? So to me, this is the time now. Another one is I love to hike. Ever since I can remember, even as a young child, I loved walking around in the woods. I loved exploring behind our house when it was still the suburbs and you still had some forest behind your yard. I loved exploring, and that hasn't changed. I still love seeing what's around the next corner. What new exciting adventure will I find? Another thing is I want the challenge of doing something that I've never done before. I've hiked a few mountains, over 20 years ago. I have hiked Mount Whitney. That was 21 miles in one day, which really was difficult. And I sprained my ankle close to the summit coming down. It will motivate me to get ready, to get in shape, to research. I also hiked to the summit of Mount Kilimanjaro in 2020. It was pure coincidence because I was living in Africa and it was COVID, everything else was shut down. So it just worked out for me. And that was probably the hardest thing that I've ever done so far, physically and mentally. I had done well on all the hikes leading up to the base camp, but getting up at 11 and taking off by midnight, and because it was COVID, there was no one else around, so there wasn't a trail of flashlights to follow. It was all in the dark. It was cold. It was about a six and a half hour hike up a hill that was very steep. You couldn't see anything. It was just my guide and me, and I was tired. I was exhausted. I could feel the altitude. It's at about 19,000 something feet. So it's pretty high. And there are a few times where I thought, I just want to sit down and rest. And luckily my guide got me to move again. And there are a few times I thought, I can't do this. This is just too much. It's too exhausting. And I told myself, Karen, if you don't go, you're going to regret it the rest of your life. So you need to figure out a way to keep going. And as it turned out, what I ended up doing, because it was so quiet on this whole hike, I counted to 100. I counted each step till I got to 100, and then I started all over again. And I didn't even keep track of how many hundreds of steps I did, but that was kept me going, even through the back pain and the knee pain and the fatigue. So knowing that I was able to do that, by the time I do the Camino, it'll be 6 years. I'm up for a new challenge, and this is going to be way, way worse. So the hike to the summit and back was 50 miles or something. So I'm planning on doing about, the Camino Francais is 780 kilometers or something. And that's close to 500 miles, so it's going to be a lot more, but I'm going to do it I'm going to give myself about 45 days to do this. So I'm already finding myself getting really, really motivated. I'm also hoping, excuse me, my nose is running, I was just outside. I really want to connect with people who are like-minded on the Camino. From what I've gathered so far, when you're on this pilgrimage, you are alone if you want to be, and if you want to join a group, you join a group. And then you usually meet up at the albergues at night. And if you've watched the movie The Way with Martin Sheen and his son Emilio Estevez, then you kind of get an idea that these random people just meet up and then they hike together. And if you don't want to, you don't. I am an introvert by nature, and so this will really challenge me to be in dorm rooms with lots and lots of people. I'll probably be looking to escape when I'm on the Camino. As I mentioned, I really want the physical challenge, but also the mental challenge of walking day after day after day. And in the end, I do hope that I come closer to my true self, because I've put on many masks over the years, because I felt like I wasn't okay the way I was. And I lost a lot of that essence. And by nature, I'm just kind of a goofball, weird, but I enjoy it. I see it as a good thing. So I want to get back to that, but I also hope to get a more solid connection with my Creator. I do believe I was a hardcore Christian at one point, and I moved away from that. I am spiritual now, but I'm not religious. And part of the requirements for getting your certificate at the end is that it has to have been for religious or spiritual reason. So I've got lots of different reasons for going on this Camino: physical, emotional, having that emotional resilience and fortitude, and spiritual, connecting with nature, connecting with God. So that's it for today. This is my why on the Camino. And as they say, buen camino.